The following is a Caitanya Lila class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on August 1st, 2016 in Sridham, Mayapur, India.
Bhagavangayatayaram Yatkitatamandande Sigaroditayam Paramanandamadavam Sri Caitanya Swami Hari Om Tat Sat. So we're reading, we're compiling different instructions on Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
So we're reading and compiling the different instructions on Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
Today we're reading from the Caitanya Bhagavat.
Today we're reading from the Chaitanya Bhagavat.
To start with, each pastime is described by different shastras.
Each pastime is described by different shastras.
Some pastime by one.
Some pastimes by one.
Some pastime by 2, 3, 4.
Some pastimes by 2, 3, or 4.
Or even up to 8.
And even up to 8.
So now we're on the stage of the pastime of Nimai Pandit.
Now we're at the stage of the pastime of Nimai Pandit. গঙ্গা তটে শিষ্য বেষ্টিত নিমায়ের অনুপম শোভার একমাত্র উপমা বর্ণন এই মতো সকল দৃষ্টান্ত যোগ্য নয় সবে এক উপমা দেখিয়া চিত্তে লয়
In this way, all of the examples I don't consider to be appropriate.
I don't consider to be appropriate.
But there's one example that I think is appropriate.
একমাত্র জামুন তটবর্তী গোপ শিশু বেষ্টিত নন্দনন্দন সহ নিমায়ের উপমা উভয় স্বরূপী পরস্পরের উপমা কালিন্দীর তীরে যেন শ্রী নন্দকুমার গোপবৃন্দ মধ্যে বসি করিলা বিহার সেই যেমন বিলাসী গোপতনয় কৃষ্ণই অধুনা দ্বিজরাজ বিশ্বম্ভর সেই গোপবৃন্দলয় সেই কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র বুঝি দ্বিজ রূপে গঙ্গা তীরে করে রঙ্গ
So just as Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, he would sit by the Kalindi river, the Jamuna.
He would sit by the Kalindi river, the Jamuna.
In the middle of his cowherd friends. Sitting with them. And enjoy his pastimes.
He'd enjoy his pastimes.
And just as that Krishna Chandra would be sitting with all his cowherd friends.
Just as that Krishna Chandra would be sitting with his cowherd friends.
I see that in the twice born. Brahminical form. On the bank of the Ganges. Lord
Chaitanya was sitting.
Enjoying the same similar blissful pastimes.
And enjoying the same similar blissful pastimes.
So, Vrindavan Thakur used 3 examples.
So Vrindavan Das Thakur used 3 examples.
One surrounded by the stars,
the moon surrounded by the stars,
Brihaspati surrounded by devas,
Brihaspati surrounded by the devas,
and Cupid. But these three comparisons
But these three comparisons
are unable to describe the Lord's pastime and unparalleled beauty.
Are unable to describe the Lord's pastimes and unparalleled beauty.
Because the moon has black marks
Because
resembling a rabbit.
Because the moon has black marks resembling a rabbit.
It waxes and wanes.
It waxes and wanes.
Cannot be seen in the daytime.
And cannot be seen in the daytime.
Lord Chandra is devoid of black spots.
Gaurachandra is devoid of black spots.
And he doesn't diminish.
And he does not diminish.
And he's visible in the daytime.
And he's visible in the daytime.
Brihaspati is only partial to the devas.
Brihaspati is only partial to the devas.
And no sympathy for the demons.
And no sympathy for the demons.
Gaurachandra is equal to everyone.
But Gaurachandra
is a spiritual master and well-wisher of everyone.
Gaurachandra is equal with everyone. He's the spiritual master and well-wisher of everyone.
Cupid appears in the mind of a person.
Cupid appears in the mind of a person.
And causes mundane agitation. While the appearance of Gaurachandra vanquishes all bondage. And enlivens the conditioned souls. Although these three comparisons give incomplete, partial indication of the Lord's beauty.
These three comparisons give an incomplete and partial indication of the Lord's beauty.
They are unable to give a complete description. Therefore, Govinda, in his unparalleled pastimes of sitting on the bank of the Jamuna, with the cowherd boys, is the best and ideal comparison to Gaura, who is non-different from Krishna. Haribo, Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga.
নিমাইর অলৌকিক রূপে সকলেই আকৃষ্ট। গঙ্গা তীরে যে যে জনে দেখে প্রভু মুখ, সেই পায় অতি অনির্বচনীয় সুখ।
Sitting on the Ganges bank, whatever person saw the beauty of Gaurachandra's lotus face,
whoever saw the beauty of Gaurachandra's lotus face,
he would get indescribable spiritual happiness and bliss.
নিমাইর অলৌকিক রূপ দর্শনে সকলের তৎসম্বন্ধে স্ব বুদ্ধিবৃত্তনুযায়ী বিবিধ বিচার প্রতীতি। দেখিয়া প্রভুর তেজ অতি বিলক্ষণ, গঙ্গা তীরে কানাকানি করে সর্বজন।
Seeing the Lord's effulgence, which was extraordinary, on the side of the Ganges, everyone started to whisper to each other.
কেহ বলে এত তেজ মানুষের নয়, কেহ বলে এ ব্রাহ্মণ বিষ্ণু অংশ হয়।
Someone said that effulgence is not of any human being. And another said This
Brahman
is a part of Vishnu.
Is a part of Vishnu. কেহ বলে বিপ্র রাজা হইবেক গৌরে, সেই এই বুঝি এই কথন না নরে। রাজ চক্রবর্তী চিহ্ন দেখিয়ে সকল, এই মতো বলে যার যত বুদ্ধি বল। Another said,
Brahman,
this Brahman
has certainly come to fulfill the prediction.
Has certainly come to fulfill the prediction.
There will be a Brahman.
That there will be a Brahman
ruler over the kingdom of Gauda.
Ruler over the kingdom of Gauda. Another said,
prediction.
This prediction
will certainly be fulfilled.
Will certainly be fulfilled.
He has all the symptoms.
He has all the symptoms.
This Raja. So according to how much intelligence and vision they have.
So according to how much intelligence and vision they had,
they spoke according to their realization.
They spoke according to their realization.
Some of the people
thought
he'll be the Lord of the Gaudiyas.
He will be the Lord of the Gaudiyas.
Panchagauda
is Panchagauda,
which means Bengal and Orissa,
which means Bengal, Odisha, Bihar,
different parts of Eastern India.
Different parts of Eastern India
called
Gaudas.
North India, Gauda. And the capital of the city is still known as Gauda, which was the ancient capital of Bengal and Eastern India.
The city Gauda is the capital still known as Gauda, which was the ancient capital of Bengal, which was known as Gauda. তাৎকালিক অধ্যাপকগণের অধ্যাপনায় নিমায়ের দোষারোপণ। অধ্যাপক প্রতি সব কটাক্ষ করিয়া, ব্যাখ্যা করে প্রভু গঙ্গা সমীপে বসিয়া।
So while all the people were whispering amongst themselves,
the Lord was
teaching his students.
The Lord was teaching his students
to point out the faults in the other teachers. And he engaged in explaining the scriptures. On the bank of the Ganges.
কর্তুম অন্যথা করণে সমর্থ নিমায় পণ্ডিত। হয় ব্যাখ্যা নয় করে হয়, সকল খণ্ডিয়া শেষে সকল স্থাপয়।
Nimai Pandit was established by his ingenuity.
Nimai Pandit would establish by his ingenuity
that correct answers
were incorrect.
Then he would after no one could refute him. He would establish the incorrect and the correct as the correct. Which he had proven as incorrect, he would establish it as correct.
That which was proven as incorrect, he would establish as correct.
So in this way, he cut down everybody. And then he established the proper meaning
And then at the end, he established the proper meaning
with new explanations.
with new explanations.
The Lord was showing his scholarship and ingenuity.
The Lord was showing his scholarship and ingenuity.
He would easily refute all the other pundits
He would easily refute all the other pundits
by giving his own explanation and logic.
and then by giving his own explanation and logic.
Then, after he defeated everyone,
Then after he would refute everyone,
he established the correct understanding
he would establish the correct understanding
by using his own ingenuity.
by using his own ingenuity.
As our Lord Chaitanya said,
That's why Lord Chaitanya said,
Tarko Bahudur,
Tarko Bahudur,
logic
that logic
alone will lead you far from the truth.
alone will lead you far from the truth.
Because you can use logic in various ways.
Because you can use logic in various ways.
The thing is to hear from a bona fide spiritual master
The thing is to hear from a bona fide spiritual master
and understand exactly what has been passed down by the disciplic succession.
and understand what is exactly being passed down by the disciplic succession.
Haribol.
Haribol. নিমাই কর্তৃক পণ্ডিত সংজ্ঞা নির্দেশ ও তদীয় সগর্ব স্পর্ধোক্তি প্রভু বলে তারে আমি বলি যে পণ্ডিত একবার ব্যাখ্যা করে আমার সহিত সেই ব্যাখ্যানো করিয়া আর বার আমা প্রবোধিবে হেন শক্তি আছে কার. So the Lord said,
I consider someone to be a pundit,
I consider someone to be a pandit,
but they'll once come and face me
but they should once come and face me
and discuss with me.
and discuss with me
If their argument can stand up to my test,
who can stand up to my test,
and he will prevail in the argument,
and he will prevail in the argument, defeating me.
Who has that?
Who has that?
Who has that power?
Who has that power? সর্বগর্বহর সর্বেশ্বর প্রভুর অদ্বিতীয়ত্ব বা অসমর্ধত্ব এই মতো ঈশ্বর ব্যঞ্জন অহংকার সর্বগর্ব চূর্ণ হয় শুনিয়া সবার.
As the Supreme Lord exhibited his pride
As the Supreme Lord exhibited his pride
in this way, he
smashed
all the pride
of the others. অদ্বিতীয় পণ্ডিত নিমায়ের অনন্ত শিষ্যৈশ্বর্য বর্ণন কত বা প্রভুর শিষ্য তার অন্ত নাই কত বা মণ্ডলী হয় পরে ঠাঁই ঠাঁই.
How many disciples the Lord had?
How many disciples the Lord had?
Or students?
There
was no end to them.
There was no end to them.
Countless.
How much?
Countless. They would all sit in small circles.
They would all sit in small circles.
Maybe not small, but in circles.
Maybe not small, but in circles.
And they would
study.
Under the Lord's direction.
বিপ্র তনয়গণের আচার্য নিমাইকে প্রণাম ও তদন্তে বাসী রূপে অধ্যয়নার্থ কাকুক্তি. প্রতিদিন 10-20 ব্রাহ্মণ কুমার আসিয়া প্রভুর পায়ে করে নমস্কার।
Every day, 10 or 20 Brahmin boys.
10 or 20 Brahmin boys.
They would come.
They would come.
They fall at the feet of the Lord and
They would fall at the feet of the Lord. They would fall at the feet of the Lord and offer their obeisances. পণ্ডিত, আমরা পরিবাও তোমা স্থানে, কিছু জানি হেন কৃপা করিবা আপনে। পণ্ডিত,
we want to study
we want to study with you.
We want to learn something.
We want to learn something.
Please be merciful to us.
So please be merciful to us.
Please be merciful that we can learn something.
Please be merciful that we can learn something. সহাস্যে নিমায়ের তদ্বিষয়ে সম্মতি প্রদান। ভালো ভালো হাসি প্রভু বলেন বচন, এই মতো প্রতিদিন বারে শিষ্যগণ।
ভালো
ভালো good the Lord said
smiling, the Lord would give his welcoming words.
The Lord would give his welcoming words
This way,
every day.
Number of disciples or students studying under the Lord.
The number of disciples or students studying under the Lord increased. গঙ্গা তটে শিষ্যগণ বেষ্টিত নিমায় পণ্ডিত, গঙ্গা তীরে শিষ্য সঙ্গে মণ্ডলী করিয়া, বৈকুণ্ঠের চূড়ামণি আছেন বসিয়া।
By the side of the Ganges.
By the side of the Ganges.
Along with his students. Who are sitting in groups. The Lord, the crown jewel of the Vaikuntha planets.
The Lord, the crown jewel of the Vaikuntha planets.
He was seated.
নিমায় পণ্ডিতের ঐশ্বর্য বলে নবদ্বীপে শোক ভয়াভাব, চতুর্দিকে দেখে সব ভাগ্যবন্ত লোক, সর্ব নবদ্বীপ প্রভু প্রভাবে অশোক।
From all sides, people who are very fortunate, they
would see the Lord.
And the whole of Navadvip, by the Lord's presence, by his transcendental influence, they became happy and had no distress.
নবদ্বীপে নিমায়ের বিদ্যাবিলাস দর্শকেরও অতুল সৌভাগ্য, সে আনন্দ যে যে ভাগ্যবন্ত দেখিলেক, কোন জন আছে তার ভাগ্য বলিবেক। That transcendental happiness.
Those fortunate souls who saw the Lord's pastimes.
Those fortunate souls who saw the Lord's pastimes.
Who is there that
can say?
How much good fortune they had.
তাদৃশ সুকৃতিশালী জনের দর্শনেও জীবের ভববন্ধু ক্ষয়, সে আনন্দ দেখিলে যে সুকৃতি জন, তানে দেখিলেও খণ্ডে সংসার বন্ধন।
The transcendental happiness
achieved by those who saw these pastimes.
How pious they were. Just by seeing the Lord,
just by seeing the Lord,
they were freed from the material bondage.
they were freed from the material bondage.
So the pastimes
of
Lord Gauranga,
Lord Gauranga,
which are Vaikuntha pastimes.
which are Vaikuntha pastimes.
If you see one who has seen those pastimes,
If you see one who has seen those pastimes,
then you will also be liberated
then you will also be liberated
and freed from the material bondage.
and freed from material bondage.
Who wants to see those pastimes?
Who wants to see those pastimes?
Who wants to see even those who have seen those pastimes?
Who wants to see even those who have seen those pastimes? একনিষ্ঠ গৌর ভক্তবর গ্রন্থকারের স্বনিন্দা ও বিলাপোক্তি দ্বারা দৈনাদর্শ প্রদর্শন হইল পাপিষ্ঠ জন্ম না হইল তখনে হইলা বঞ্চিত সে সুখ দর্শনে।
So the Navadas Thakur,
So Vrindavan Das Thakur,
was the incarnation of the Vyasadeva.
who is the incarnation of Vasudev,
He said,
my birth is sinful
because it was not at that time.
Because it was not at that time.
I was deprived from seeing that blissful darshan, that blissful pastime.
From seeing that blissful pastime.
So if he was feeling cheated, by appearing one generation later, how unfortunate are we?
And how unfortunate are we
to have appeared 500 years later.
To have appeared 500 years later.
At least we could see Prabhupada.
At least we could see Prabhupada.
Haribo. Navnaj Thakur is showing us how to be humble.
So Vrindavan Das Thakur is showing us how to be humble.
Although he heard from those who had seen the pastimes. But he thought he was very unfortunate. Because his birth did not take place during the pastimes of Sri.
Because his birth did not happen during the pastimes of Sri Gaur Sundar.
I was not fortunate enough to see those ecstatic pastimes.
I was not fortunate enough to see those ecstatic pastimes.
So materialistic people are very happy.
They're very happy.
They can take birth to enjoy the fruits of their good karma.
If they can take birth to enjoy the fruits of their good karma.
But if they take birth during the manifest pastimes of the Lord,
the Lord,
they become glorious.
They become glorious
by seeing those pastimes. Even though otherwise
they have taken abominable births. শাভীষ্ট দেব গৌর নারায়ণ সমীপে তদীয় অনুরক্ত ভক্তবর গ্রন্থকারের তল্লীলা সুখানুস্মৃতি প্রার্থনা তথাপিহ এই কৃপা করে গৌরচন্দ্র সে লীলা স্মৃতি মোর হোক জন্ম জন্ম
Still, O Gaur Sundar,
Still, O Gaur Sundar,
please be merciful to me.
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 That I can remember your pastime.
That I can remember your pastime.
Birth after birth.
Birth after birth.
Haribol. Gauranga. 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 So when we go on the parikrama, now that it's done,
So when we go on the parikrama of Navadip Dham,
you constantly remember the pastime of the Lord.
you constantly remember the pastimes of the Lord.
Lord Nityananda would go many times in a year.
Lord Nityananda would go many times in the year.
Sometimes he would see all the 9 islands in one day.
Sometimes he would see all the 9 islands in one day.
Sometimes on Panchakrosh
Sometimes
Parikrama.
he would do Panchakrosh parikrama.
Sometimes Ashtakrosh.
Sometimes
It's like a-
Ashtakrosh.
Sometimes the 16 krosh.
Sometimes the 60 krosh.
32 miles.
32 miles.
So that's why every year we like to go on the parikrama.
So that's why every year we like to go on the parikrama.
It's always to remember the pastime of the Lord.
Because we'll always be remembering the pastimes of the Lord.
It's something transcendental and filled with unlimited bliss.
That are transcendental and filled with unlimited bliss.
So if the pastime of the Lord are present in our mind,
So the pastimes of the Lord present in our mind,
they awaken our good fortune.
they may awaken our good fortune. গ্রন্থকার কর্তৃক সর্বত্র সাভীষ্ট দেব যুগলের কৈঙ্কর্য লালসা স্বপার্শ্বদে তুমি নিত্যানন্দ যথা যথা লীলা করো মুই যেন ভৃত্য হও তথা
Wherever you and Lord Nityananda,
Wherever you and Lord Nityananda,
wherever Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda
wherever Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda
are manifesting their pastimes
manifest your pastimes
with their associates,
with your associates,
but I can be there
that I can be there
as one of your servitors.
as one of your servitors.
So we see that how Vrindavan
So we see how Vrindavan Das Thakur,
he decides to always see and be present
he desired to always see and be present
in the pastime of Lord
in the pastimes of the Lord,
Gaura and Nityananda.
Gaura and Nityananda.
So tomorrow we go on with more pastimes.
So tomorrow we go on with more pastimes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,